Benny Manuel II with TrainRelentless.com, former professional athlete, certified personal trainer, corrective exercise specialist, performance enhancement specialist, and nutrition coach. Here today to talk about the importance of heart rate monitoring and why you should consider getting a heart rate monitor and why it's important and beneficial. So what's the big deal with this heart rate monitoring, and why is it important to measure your heart rate and wear a heart rate monitor? And the reason why is because your heart works when you work, meaning when you do something of low intensity, your heart is working. When you do something of high intensity, your heart is working. Now, we've all done something where it's super intense, where our heart starts beating all fast, feel like it's about to jump out of our chest, and we're breathing all heavy. That is a high intensity activity, and your heart is responding because the harder we work, the harder it has to work. Now, the second part of it is your heart, or the level of intensity that you're working at, or your heart is working at, is fueled by different sources. Okay, so when we're doing low intensity activities like walking, which is a low cardio activity, and we are using fat for fuel. Okay, so you've heard people say, get in the fat burning zone, right? Oh, you should work out in the fat burning zone. What does that mean? Like, that's what they're talking about. Okay, that is why too they recommend you walk, because it helps burn fat. Okay, now high intensity, anything where you're doing where your heart is beating real fast and you're out of breath and it's getting harder and super intense. And if you've done it, you understand that fuel source for that activity is carbs. So that is dependent on the level of carbs that you're intaking within your diet. So if you're on a low carb diet, then you can have, naturally you'll have a lower storage, and that can affect you when training at high intensities. Or you've been doing this intensity for a prolonged period and you burn through your storage or the what you've had in store. Now at this point, on either one of those, this is when it can become an issue, because now your body still needs to fuel, but the source is dried out, so it has to go somewhere else in a secondary form and not the primary form. And in this case, it'll be your muscles. And that's something that we don't want, because we don't want to be eating away at our muscles. We want to retain muscle mass and build more muscle and keep muscle. So this is where this can be dangerous, or can be not beneficial, or counteractive, or whatever you want to say. But this ain't the goal. It's to burn through muscle, right? It's to burn fat. So this is where it can kind of go against what we're trying to achieve. So make sure either you're not doing super long intense activities, or that you have enough storage and you're eating the right amount of carbs. Okay, so, or you have a heart rate monitor and you know, hey man, it's getting too high, getting too intense, I gotta bring this thing down. So less intense activities that are in this fat burning zone, this will be around 60 to 65% of your maximum heart rate. Okay, now to find your fat burning zone in this, you gotta know your maximum heart rate, and that is, you can use the Carbonian formula to find that. Go do your own research, or we'll do a video on it later, but that's how you find that. But in this video, we're just gonna stick to the basics. So that's the reason why people are using heart rate monitors and why it's important. So you need to know your level of intensity, so therefore you can be in a certain place to elicit the certain response or fuel source that your body or that your workout program or your workout goal is intended to produce. So we want to be losing weight and burning fat, we want to be on this lower end. So that is also, when you're doing and walking, a test for that is you're walking and able to hold a conversation, you're in the fat burning zone. That's a lower level activity, you're good, you can hold it. Now if you get to where you're panting and you can't talk and make a complete sentence, then your heart rate is elevated and you are not using fat for fuel. Okay, you're using carbs. So now that you know the difference, you can adjust what you do or how you do it to elicit the response that you require to get the goals that you are after. Train Relentless. We help dads regain confidence in their body through fundamental exercise and lifestyle principles. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful in any way or got even one good useful tip out of it, hit the like button and please consider subscribing to this channel.